Hey everyone, this is Jason at Alorium Technology. Want to do a quick demo video using our XLR8 with a Blynk application to demonstrate how you could potentially use it as something of an IoT platform. So what we're essentially going to be doing is we're going to have our XLR8 board, and we're going to be also using an application that I designed using the Blynk app. And you can check out Blynk at blynk.cc. Very cool app, very neat little software package that allows you to design applications, talk to their Blynk server, and control different kinds of hardware. So in this particular case, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the app to talk to the Blynk server in the cloud, which is going to give us ability to control some things with XLR8. And then going back the other direction, be able to pass some information from our board back to the application and be able to show it on my iPhone. So let's take a look at how we're going to have this set up. Okay, before we get started, I just want to show you what I'm going to be using for this demo. And this is just actually a picture I took of it before getting started. I took the pieces apart. So what we've got here is, of course, the XLR8 board. And we're going to be putting that right down on top of a Wi-Fi shield. This one uses the CC3000 module on it for the Wi-Fi connectivity. And then we're going to be connecting that to this NeoPixel shield here to be able to demonstrate control from the Blynk app to XLR8. And this is just a very simple touch sensor that we're going to be using to send data back to the Blynk app from the hardware. So let's go ahead and put this together and we'll talk a bit about how this is going to work. Okay, we are all set up and ready to go. Now what we've got is the XLR8 board sitting right on top of the Wi-Fi shield. That's connected to the NeoPixel shield, and then of course we've got our simple little touch sensor sitting right there. So let's take a look at the app. Now what we're looking at on the right-hand part of the screen here is actually what was running on my iPhone 6s. And this is a Blynk app that I created specifically for this demo. And what we'll see here is that up in the upper left-hand corner, we'll start there, we've got essentially the red, green, and blue color sliders that allow me to control the background color on the NeoPixel shield. And so I can control the red, I can control the green individually, and I can control the blue. And then of course I can, mix those together and get the color combinations that you would mixing any kind of RGB values from 0 to 255. So that's really what that is set up to do, and allows me to create whatever kind of background color that I want. So let's go ahead and create kind of a nice blue background here. And we'll jump up to this foreground pixel color. Now what we've done is we've set aside one pixel that we can control with the color bar, or that pixel color slider up in the upper right hand corner. And that allows us to control the color of just that one pixel. Now below the pixel color slider, what you'll see are two buttons. One is an invert button, one is a blank. And what the invert button does is it allows me to actually invert the colors, both the foreground and the background color, for the NeoPixel shield. So I can turn that on, and then I can turn it back off and it'll go back to the original colors. Now next to that is the blank button, and that allows me to just completely disable the LEDs entirely. So if we get a really horrid color or something really bright, we can go ahead and turn it right back off. So we've got a nice green color with a blue pixel, and we jump down to the bottom left-hand corner and you can see we've got this joystick. Now this allows me to drive that foreground pixel around and just kind of control it and move it around the screen with the joystick. So again, nothing super complicated going on here other than being able to demonstrate that we're moving that pixel and controlling where it is through the joystick on the app, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's controlling the hardware from the app. Let's take a look at how do we read information from the hardware and display it on the app. So that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to kind of set this up to a slightly different color while we're doing it. Now, if you look at the middle of the screen, you'll see this graph that's going on there. And what that's doing is that's actually receiving data from the XLR8, and it's just really plotting out random values between 1 and 12. So every 2 seconds, it'll push data out to the Blynk app and it just plots it. And imagine this is hooked up to a proximity sensor or some other kind of sensor. It just gives you an ability to see, represent, display data that would be coming from the hardware. Now below the graph on the right-hand side, you'll see a stack of what are actually LEDs and number displays. And those are hooked up to the touch sensor. And what I want to be able to show is that the hardware can actually respond to some kind of event and then demonstrate it on the app. So if I go and I touch the touch sensor, you'll see those LEDs light up 1 per second and start pushing out values. Now again, these are just random values. They don't really mean anything, but just wanted to be able to demonstrate that when you touch the sensor, it recognizes it, pushes the data up to the app, and you can represent some kind of information coming back. And so again, the main idea here was just simply to show that we can control the hardware from the app using the joystick or the color sliders, and likewise, we can get data back from the hardware and represent it in the app. One of the things that is important to understand in this particular case is because we've got our FPGA sitting on there, this now provides an IoT platform that gives you access to the Max 10 FPGAs that's there. So if you're running some kind of custom hardware, you've got an accelerator block that's out there doing something unique, well, now you have the ability to communicate with that Max 10 via internet path across Wi-Fi or across Ethernet, and you actually have access to that and you can control it from your phone. And so you may be able to do some kind of pre-processing either, when you get data back from the cloud or before you go up to the cloud. That could be really powerful in certain types of applications. This is just to demonstrate that the communication path works and that what we've got implemented as part of Accelerate will work with this kind of environment using an app that controls it over the internet. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.